What is up, YouTube? This is 8 questions to ask sellers when wholesaling real estate. These questions are to help you dig deeper into the motivation, dig deeper into why they really want to sell, create that gap from their problem to the solution. That way you could be that bridge that brings that gap together. That way they look at you as the solution for their issues. These questions are going to help uncover the problems, help you build rapport, dig deeper, build a relationship, and also set you as the authority and the professional to where, hey, I could get your problem solved. I could solve your problem. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing as wholesalers. And really just as an entrepreneur and as an investor in general, you want to be a problem solver. The bigger problems you solve, the more money you get. All right, so let's get into it. All right, first question. This is the first question I ask every time in the beginning of my script. Is this property a rental property for you, or is this your primary residence? Primary or rental? This is basically asking them, why are you selling? Without saying, why are you selling? Okay, when you say, I ask it like this. I say, well, Mr. Seller, this seems like a great house. Has this been a rental property for you, or is this your primary residence? Ask it just like that every time. And by asking that question in that way, it's basically saying, why are you selling this house? What's the situation? What's going on here? Is this a rental property for you? Have you had tenants in here? Are you a tired landlord, or is this your primary residence? You've been living here and it's just time for you to move or whatever. A lot of stuff will unfold from this first question. And if it's neither of them, they'll tell you. It's like, no, this was an inherited property. I inherited it with 5 of my siblings. We're just selling it, trying to get rid of it. Okay, so this is the first question, most important question you want to ask to first get them to start talking about why they're selling. All right, the next question. How long have you been thinking about selling? This is going to a level deeper, right? How long have you been thinking about selling? Usually this will uncover some of the issues that are going on. This question is going to really get them to tell you why they've been thinking about selling, what problems have been coming up, and how long they've been dealing with those problems and things like that. So that's very, very important. How long have you been thinking about selling? How long have you been contemplating this, right? This is also going to gauge their interest in selling and their motivation. Like, how much do you want to sell? How long have you been thinking about selling? Okay. Next question. Just going to speed through these. This is very important. All right. And I got this from, I think it's called Go High Level or High Level. And it really originates from Jeremy Minor. I think his is called seventh level, I think it is. But his sales program, this is a big question that you ask that really, okay, why are you really selling? Like one of those questions. So you say, so besides pain point, right? So they told you what the pain point was with these 2 questions. Okay, so besides that, what else is it that came up that made you look at wanting to move on from the house now though? Okay, let me say that again. So besides you wanting to move to Colorado to get closer to your grandchildren, what was it that came up that made you want to look at possibly moving on from the house now though? Now though, you got to say it like that. Now though. So I didn't quote these questions, right? But I'm telling you how to exactly say them. So write down what I'm saying word for word. This is just like the gist of the questions. But yeah, so besides pain point, what else is it that came up that made you look at possibly wanting to move on from the house now though? Okay. That's really going to help you uncover so for example, they want to move to Oklahoma to get closer to their grandkids. Okay, what else was it that came up? Well, recently my daughter got sick and, they live so far away, tomorrow's never promised. I just want to get closer to my daughter and my grandkids because, my daughter recently got sick and she wants me to help her with whatever. Right? That is how you uncover the deeper layer, right? We're on the 3rd layer now, okay? Then you say, number 4, how long has that been going on? So after they tell you, my daughter's sick or whatever, that's when you say, make sure you practice these tones and these, I forget what it's called, but these exaggerations or whatever, you know, that, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, how long has that been going on? You want to ask it like that. You want to be human, you want to sound natural, and you want to, you know, actually care about these people's situation, right? Because at the end of it, what we're doing right now is we're uncovering the problem. We're going to make that problem, we're going to help them to realize how big of a problem that is. Then we're going to offer our solution, and we're going to be the bridge that bridges that gap between their situation and the solution situation, what they want to happen. Okay, so how long has that been going on? Then they'll really start to tell you more about why they've been wanting to sell, how long it's been going on, things like that. The next question: how is this affecting you / family / others? Right. So whatever the story is, right? So in the example I was given, you would say, how is that affecting the grandkids? You know what I mean? So you ask these questions. Okay, she wants to sell so she can move closer to her granddaughters in Oklahoma. Then you realize, okay, she wants to do that because her daughter got sick and she needs help taking care of the grandkids. Then you would say, how's that affecting the grandkids? Then she'll go in, the emotions start to come out, and they really start to elaborate, like, this is my problem. Like, this is what I need, right? I'm really trying to solve this issue. And selling the house is gonna help me get to the solution for that issue. Okay, all right, next. What would happen in 6 months if you didn't sell? So the exact way to ask this is, okay, well, just so I kind of understand the bigger picture, I mean, what would happen in 6 months if you didn't sell the house? Like, what would happen in 6 months from now if you didn't sell the house and this problem got worse? What would happen in 6 months if you didn't sell the house and you're still not with your grandkids and your daughter gets sick again? I mean, what would happen then? Now we're creating that urgency, like, no, I have to sell. I'm gonna sell. It's gonna sell, right? Now we're making the problem too big to where it's like, bro, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of this problem. I have to go to Oklahoma with my granddaughter and my daughter, you know? So that's really big. You're creating this, you're magnifying their problem, okay? And you also wanna magnify your solution and let them know, like, hey, I could take you to the solution. You know, build that trust, build that rapport, okay? Number 7, repeat back to them their solution, right? So after you tell them, or after you ask all these questions and you get down to the root of it, okay, I want to move to Oklahoma to move closer to my granddaughters because my daughter got sick and she needs help raising the grandkids, okay? You would repeat that back to them. Be like, oh, okay, so really, you're really looking to sell because you want to help your daughter because she's sick and raise the grandkids, and you think that's having an effect on your grandkids. Is that right? You always end it with, is that right? And they'll be like, right, that's exactly right. Now it's like, okay, you understand me. You've been listening to me, right? Very, very big. You have to repeat back. So you have to use active listening when you're asking all these questions. You have to be typing this down. This is very, very important. These are gonna build that. You're gonna magnify their problem. This, okay, now you're gonna magnify, first you're gonna let them know that you understand, right? So you're gonna repeat back the solution. Actually, you wanna repeat back the problem, then repeat the solution, right? So as they're talking, this is really throughout all these, as they're talking, you're repeating back to them what they're saying. And that lets them know subconsciously that you're listening to them and you actually care, you know, on top of building rapport and making them laugh, okay? So every time they say, you know, I want to move to Oklahoma to get close to my grandkids. Oh, you want to get closer to the grandkids. You know, and you'd say something like, how old are the grandkids? How old are they? You know, and then you'd probably relate to them and be like, okay, I got a niece, I got a nephew around that age. Something like that, right? But repeat back everything that they say, and then at the end of it, you want to really repeat back the solution. Okay, so we want to get to this destination. Is that right? Right. You know, they'll say right. Once they say right, you got them. Okay, 8, this is a bonus, bottom dollar question. So after you uncovered the motivation, after you figured out what their end goal is, Now you're gonna ask, okay, how much money is needed for you to leave that problem and get to the solution? How much is really needed? But you would ask it like this. After you go through all this, you're like, okay, well, I might be able to help you out. I think we could, help you out. I just need to ask a few more questions, talk to my partners, and see if this is something we could help you out with. Okay, after you do all that, you're gonna say, Mr. Seller, so if we were to buy this house all cash, right? So there's 3 points in this bottom dollar question, and you wanna drive each point home. Cash, as is, closing costs, and time frame. You could close quick, okay? So, Mr. Seller, if I could buy this house all cash, right? So you say that and then you drive it home, which means I don't have to go to a bank and get a loan. I don't have any financing contingencies or anything like that. This is my money coming out of my pocket or me and my partner's pockets. So if we could pay all cash, right? And we'll buy it completely as is. So drive that home, which means you don't have to do any more repairs to the property. You know how you said the roof was leaking in the back and it's causing mold? Well, look, you don't got to worry about that. We'll take care of all that, okay? So if we could buy the house cash, take it completely as is, so you don't have to make any more repairs, and we cover all the closing costs and drive it home. So that means that you don't have to come out of pocket for anything. No realtor commissions are taken out, nothing, right? So that means whatever we give you, you get to walk away with it net in your pocket. If we could do that for you, Mr. Seller, what would you say you absolutely need to walk away with? Okay, you have to say it exactly like that. Don't say what's your bottom dollar. Don't say what's the best you could do on price. Don't say what's the least you would take. Say, what would you say you absolutely need to walk away with in order to go to your granddaughters in Oklahoma and help your daughter because she's sick? So, quote for quote, this is how it would sound like. Mr. Seller, if I could buy your house all cash and take it completely as is, so you don't have to make any more repairs, and I cover all the closing costs and no agent commissions are taken out, so you don't have to come out of pocket for anything, what would you say you absolutely need to walk away with? Okay? What would you say you absolutely need to walk away with, right? So those are the 3 selling points, but I said a fourth one is timeline. And since it's all cash, we could close whenever. As soon as the title work comes back and the title is clean, we could close within a day, right? So you just want to push those 4 selling points and say, if we could do all this, what would you say you absolutely need to walk away with? And then shut up. You shut up. If it's silent, if it's quiet, oh well, sit in the silence. Let them tell you what they need in order to make that solution a reality. Okay? So these are 8 questions that you ask the seller to dig motivation and get that bottom dollar price out of them. Okay, if you got any value out of this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment if you think I missed any questions, or if you have questions in your script or something that you heard is good. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm dropping weekly videos about self-improvement, wholesale and real estate, just life in general. If you want to become a student of mine, just DM me on Instagram or send me an email. My information is going to be in the description below. If you want my Zillow script with these questions in it, that I use to wholesale real estate, or if you want my contracts, just email me, ask for it. I'll give it to you for free. My information is going to be down in the description below. Peace, y'all. Stay motivated.